1.
They say that every story has a beginning and an end. That might be true in most cases. Sometimes, however, the two are one and the same. My name is Zoe Castillo. I don't usually look this pale, but that's what you get for being in a coma. That's my father, Gabriel. I'm all he's got in this world. My mother died 15 years ago and I don't have any siblings. I think he'll be very lonely when I'm gone. I wish I could have talked to him one last time, let him know that everything will be okay. But that would be a lie. The only thing I could have said is goodbye. Since I'm lying in that bed but I'm talking to you from out here, I guess this is what they call an out-of-body experience. I'm not sure anyone can hear me, but I've had some experience with voices from the grave recently, so I'm giving it a shot. Bad things are happening, and everyone who knows the truth is either dead or has vanished off the face of the earth. If I can get through to someone, anyone, maybe something can be done. So if you can hear me, please listen. This is very, very important. It might just be the most important thing ever. You'll have to forgive me for using the oldest cliché in the book. It all began when...
Yes, that's our protagonist. Or one of the three, anyway. Zoe Castillo.
Causing the unfortunate cow to implode. Ryan?
Moo. That's a spicy meatball. To err is human, to forgive is bovine. I'm running out of cow jokes here, people. Thanks, Diane. The static has been blamed for a chain collision this morning on the Crosstown Express, killing 1 person and injuring 5. Witnesses say that a delivery truck lost wire contact and manual systems failed to take over, causing it to hit another vehicle.
This accident coincides with a new report from CTU, claiming definitive evidence that the static is caused by heavy sunspot activity. The report has already come under fire from several...
The hell?
Find her. Save her. Find her. Save her.
What was that?
Good question.
Must be some kind of viral ad.
Cricket's coming home, folks, and the critters are knocking them down like there's no tomorrow.
Maybe an ad for Cloverfield 2.
Fast bowlers came out gunning for glory.
Zoe, there's a message.
My mobile's beeping.
It's a good thing we have a creepy looking gorilla thing to tell us that our mobile's beeping, because otherwise we'd never have noticed that. Okay, there we are, beginning of the game proper. And there's a couple of similarities with the original Longest Journey, you might notice. First thing is that this game too is a story being told by someone. In this case, it's being told by Zoe herself, who is apparently in a coma 2 weeks from now. And another similarity is that Zoe is in her underwear, just like April was in the beginning of The Longest Journey. I'm gonna pick up the mobile just to get rid of the beeping.
This is an automatic reminder sent by... Shit. The gym. I have to hurry.
Yeah, that might be the case, but I have some explaining to do. So the gym will have to wait. I so want a screen like that.
I had to bug Dad 1,000,000 times before I got this in-window system. He thinks I spend way too much time in front of the screen. He's not wrong.
Okay, anyway, here we are, and here Zoe is, our protagonist. Question, of course, is where is here? We can get a bit better look at here from outside. Here is apparently a pretty nice looking place. Looks a lot more friendly than Venice did. And I can actually tell you this is Casablanca, which is Spanish for White House, in case you didn't know. One thing I do like about this game are the graphics. They are by no means perfect, and there are a couple of things that bother me about them, especially the fact that a lot of that they reuse character models for random people, for random NPCs sometimes, and the fact that people disappear when they go through doors rather than actually going through the door, as you'll come to see later. But mostly I think these graphics are pretty great, especially for 2006. So we know where we are, Casablanca, but when are we? 2 weeks before Zoe's in a coma, but when are we compared to The Longest Journey? Well, if you read the manual, you'll know it's 2219 now, which is 10 years after our adventure with April in The Longest Journey. And quite a lot of things have happened in those 10 years. One thing that's important to know about is something called the collapse. It happened only shortly after the end of the last game, and what exactly it is never fully explained, not in the game or in the manual. According to the manual and various tidbits in the game itself, what happened basically is that lots of technology just stopped working. Anti-gravity, faster-than-light spaceships, and several other things just ceased to function. Which was, of course, very bad for those people who live on the off-world colonies, because now they had no way of reaching Earth again. But apparently it was also a really scary and chaotic time on Earth as well. And I can imagine. I mean, imagine that's, for instance, that suddenly tomorrow everything that's electric stops working, basically. It would confuse the heck out of us. And although we don't actually know what caused this collapse, it's a commonly held belief among fans that it was actually the result of April's actions. As we know, at the time of The Longest Journey, the balance had been deteriorating because their guardian was gone, and which allowed magic to seep into Stark. And maybe some of those technologies that stopped working were actually depending on some of that magic. So when Gordon became the new Guardian and restored the flows of magic and science, they stopped working. As far as I know, there's never been any official confirmation from Funcom or Ragnar Turnquist that that is actually what happened, but it sounds likely to me. And actually, in the game's present, there's some weird things going on as well. A strange static is interfering with electronic systems, causing malfunctions. You've already heard one of those things on the news just now. Apparently a truck crashed because of the static interfering with its control systems. Some people are afraid that the static is a prelude to another collapse, which is of course a scary thought. The reason I'm explaining this is because this is information that's in the manual, and the game itself doesn't really explain it very well. In fact, I've read that Ragnar Turnquist really regrets one thing about this game, that is basically that he couldn't really show how much the static was disrupting ordinary life on Stark. Which I guess is because we don't know what ordinary life on Stark is like. Anyway, we'd better start doing some actual things, but we'll do it in the next video.